And we're live. We are live. So far, no one is watching. So I will wait a
And we're
moment.
live.
Oh, yeah, of course I always gotta turn that um volume off. So I'm gonna wait for like a minute or so for those of you who might be watching this delayed. Um, just in case someone shows up. If nobody shows up within 35 seconds, then I will just start talking and maybe people can join later on at some point. Oh, hi, Roger. So, okay, at least one person's here. 14 people are here. All right. So, the delay won't be as big because there's something I want to talk about and I think we should discuss it. Hi, Tim. We should discuss, well, I want to discuss the article and I've linked the article below. Hey, Jermaine. There's an article below that you can read and you can follow along if you want. Oh, hey, we got someone from Washington, D.C. also. Just start talking, man. Okay, so we're going to start talking. Um, and then we'll open up to discussion as always, which means obviously there's not going to be too many videos today. But the Financial Times actually has a report on Mazoma St. John. What is her title? She's the chief brand officer. The chief brand officer. So at Uber. Now, most of the article highlights her life, like, what she did. She apparently founded the music division at Pepsi, and then she moved on to help launch Apple Music. So she's a very talented woman, especially when it comes to music. But when um, she was brought on to Uber, obviously Uber doesn't have a music division. They were hiring her to fix their image. And hello, everyone. And I don't know exactly if she's been doing a great job. I don't think she's doing a terrible job. Let's put it this way. She's not doing a terrible job by any means. I just don't know what exactly she's doing. That's the thing. For someone who's supposed to kind of be one of the faces of Uber, to be the face of Uber and to ease tensions and to get good publicity going and all that jazz, I don't see her a lot. I did see her on a video. I believe Drive Girl Drive did a video on this where she started doing some Ubering because she had to admit she didn't really know much about how Ubering works. Well, Striker, um, I you don't have to watch. I mean, I appreciate your viewership, but you don't have to watch if that's a problem. Just putting it out there. This is a discussion video. This is not a to the point video. Just letting you know. And now I lost my train of thought. Thought, of course. So, um, I lost my train of thought. So, you know what, Striker? Yeah, I'm gonna block you. There. So, because I completely forgot whatever point I was making out about her. Oh yeah, the title of the video. That was the whole point. Uh, and probably said her first meaningful thing she said since yes, anomaly. This is live. Um, that the biggest point that she has made since she was hired for the company, and she has had to finally admit people love Uber, the product. They don't love Uber, the company. And that was the main reason I wanted to the do the live stream and have like an open discussion because there have been so many questions. Why do people still use Uber? Because they're such a corrupt company. It's pretty obvious they're corrupt. Out of sync now with but oh, there it is. It's back. And the question keeps going like, why do people keep using it? And the company's so morally reprehensive. You have these sexual assault claims. They're paying the drivers terribly. They're charging more than that they should. Um, why do people use Uber? And that's the thing. She made the point. What she made this point. Um, people like Uber. they like Uber, and I have to admit, it makes a lot of sense. When you think of all the companies that do really bad things, Amazon, Walmart, uh, EA Games, you know, there's a lot of companies that do some pretty terrible things, and yet we continue to support them because we like what they make. So I guess we'll start with that question, and then there's a couple other very interesting admissions in this article. Um, why do you guys still drive for Uber? Or if you don't drive for Uber, if you use Uber, why do you use Uber? Even though you know all these terrible things that they do. Simon says it's the conveniency of the app, plain and simple. I agree with that. Sage Stranger says it's like Walmart. You know that they are unscrupulous, but they are convenient and affordable, so they still get business. I can agree with that too. I can definitely agree with both of those situations. And that's just let's see here. Pete Differ, cheap, reliable transportation trumps morality. Yeah, I agree with that. I was about to say, well, what about the buses? But then it's like, oh wait, that's right. Buses aren't convenient at all. They just have to take the bus. The buses are awful, actually. The buses are just so terrible. So anyway, so anyone else have any reasons that they personally use Uber? Well, now here's another question though. If you still use Uber, why are you using Uber as opposed to Lyft? I know some people say they're no different and they might be right, but here's the thing. By many accounts, at least on the surface, more moral than Uber. They didn't pay to cover many hacks, and yet people who say both are the same will use Uber, who seems to have the worst moral high ground. So why? Apparently, just a desperate people do desperate things. Red Boss says, "What do you think, future Uber drivers?" I don't know. Anti Uber says, "I will hitchhike before taking the bus." Thomas Scott News says, "You the best." Doesn't contribute to the topic, but thanks. um, Nonly says, "I use Uber because parking sucks on campus." You know what? When I was going to school, if I had an Uber, I'd use Uber just for that reason myself. I hated parking on campus, especially the first 2 weeks. Tim Fowler, Uber sells the lion's share of business here in Vegas between the two platforms. That says because they're mainstream, Uber has the upper hand. Well, I would argue Lyft is a little mainstream too. They're in the news, not, if you talk to just about general news, not scandals, Lyft is in the news just as much as Uber. So why do people use Uber more? Um, Roger Bricker, there's not enough Lyft drivers everywhere yet. Let's see here. Lone Wolf says there's no need to be a jerk to your subscribers. Remember, flame responsibly. I did. I flamed respons I flamed responsibly, but the guy makes the same comment every single video, so it's like, you know what? That's the thing. I'm sorry. I talk a lot. I've got Asperger's, so I talk. That's just what it is. Lisa Noble says, I continue to drive because I'm against manual labor and don't want to smell like pizza. Okay. Frog Boss says, I never use Uber. I don't want to help the community. Um, Jermaine said, when your conscience bothers you enough, use Lyft. Thomas Scott News says, too many Lyft drivers in Sacramento. Hey, my hometown. Awesome. Love to see people from Sacramento. Sage Stranger says, Lyft is on the right track. If they don't screw up, they could take the upper hand in time to come. They could, although I think I was talking about this in yesterday's live stream. I would definitely like to see them innovate just a little bit more because Uber's, at least in terms of treating the drivers, are treating them a little better. Their 180 days might have been like peanuts, but it was still improvements, and Lyft ultimately had to ape every single one of those changes. So, does flame mean marijuana? No, the secret to what flame responsibly means will not be officially disclosed until we reach like $500 on Patreon or something. Although, as someone pointed it out, they probably figured out what it really means. um, Jermaine, there's no face to the company. Easy to pretend it's not as bad as it is. Well, for a while, Travis Kalanick was the face of Uber. Then they got rid of him, and it's true that his new CEO, the new CEO, is not as recognizable. So maybe Pete Differ. Uber is now a verb. It's the first thing people think of, and both usually bother to think further. Um, that's true. I mean, people do say I'm going to Uber home. They don't say I'm going to ride share home. And thank you, Namli. I feel special each time he responds to my comment. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Uber is a scam. People should stay away from it as much as they can. Well, a scam depends on how you look at it. If you're a passenger, then no, it's not a scam. Scam if you're a passenger because you're getting cheap rides to go places. That's what they're selling it on. If you're a driver, then yeah, they're definitely lying about James Freeman said, I sent you an article about Boston self-driving. I haven't seen the email, but just out of curiosity. It's the article about Lyft putting their self-driving cars with Nutomi on the road in Boston. Like, is this about the Lyft driverless cars from Nutomi? Probably. Um, I am, for the record, if that's what it is, I am aware that Lyft's putting their autonomous vehicles on the roads of Boston, and yeah, of course, they have to put the cars on somewhere. No, it's probably not just you. Live streaming can be a little shaky. In fact, we should try to focus. We should try to focus on waking out like drivers from Africa did. Yeah, Lone Wolf, I would agree with that, but here's like the main issue with that. Someone made a comment, and I'm going to bring up the comment because they made a very good point. They made a very, very good point. And let's see here. Where is that comment? Oh yeah, here it is. Crystal Lee, who is actually one of my more frequent commenters. I don't think she's here right now. But she made this comment, so it was really good. Yeah, Jermaine, you get yeah, you get it. That's why I'm a little bit more scatterbrained than most YouTubers. So she said, Kevin, American Uber drivers will never organize, and this is why. In America, there are too many rogue Uber drivers, meaning drivers that don't drive for a living. They sign up just for the bonuses, then quit, maybe rideshare only towards work, and when returning home at night or drive weekends only. They don't really care about the pay rates, safety tips, or commissions. These rogue drivers' goals are to just make a few bucks. Uber News, and they don't participate on any Uber related social platforms. These drivers hinder the real drivers from organizing in any useful manner or number to bring them about change. Many of them. P.S. These rogue drivers have also killed the surge. So that was her point, and I have to admit, that's a very, very good point. That was a excellent point. The problem is like the amount of people who do Uber full time or who want to do it full time actually dwarf the amount of people who come on, they just do enough to get a bonus and then they leave, or they just do the weekend for a little extra beer money. And those are the people Uber really wants. Even though I think long term they would save more money if they could keep drivers on board. But the bottom line is, yeah, thanks, Pete. Uh, these rogue drivers are, and maybe this is why they want to focus on. No, Lone Wolf. That is a good point. If only 25% of the people on Uber care about where the platform's going, percent, for example, and those 25% don't drive, you still have 75% of our drivers who are rogue drivers who don't care about the company, who don't care about the rates, who don't care about the commissions, who don't care about any of this stuff. and they're just going to keep driving when it suits them. So I personally think that's a good point. Uber did their homework. They knew how to saturate the market, and they knew that there would be some drivers who would quit because of the changes they made. But that's why the high turnaround is so important to Uber, because if you have a high turnaround, new people who come in, they don't have anything to compare to the old days. I'm sure if rogue drivers knew, like they will not. Yeah, but I know. Yeah, but Lone Wolf, the part-time drivers typically only drive the weekends, and that's when Uber cares about it the most. So, um, but here's the thing, and I have tried getting people around a boycott, and the thing is, a boycott is not even that difficult. All people have to do if they disagree with Uber is to simply not drive. They just don't have to drive. They have to do not drive. Enough people do this, things change. You would hope. Pepper cocktails. Well, wasn't that kind of the whole point of Uber? So you can do it whenever you want to. Yes, that was the whole point, and Uber definitely used it to their advantage. So do some of the drivers, for that matter. Um, the the important drivers are the ones that work full time. That might be true, but here's the thing: if they account for, let's say, 30%, I don't know what the number is. I really don't. Um, but as long as the part timers outnumber the full timers, then the full timers can't do that much damage. And the thing is, even if the full timers like stop driving altogether for like a few months, it would mess with the algorithm. There would be more surge, and the part timers might just start driving more because they don't realize that the surge is getting them out there. And although who knows what's going to happen once if Uber changes the surge, because I do want to make a video with Uber threatening to change the way surge works. And if they change the way surge works, then I just simply won't drive anymore. I mean, I kind of do it part time, to be honest. I Most of my work, so to speak, is writing and making these videos and videos for my other channels. That's what I do work. I just pretty pretty much drive just to keep the account active so I can test out new features and stuff. Via ride sharing is growing. Maybe it is. Maybe it is, but it's not in my area, so I can't really comment on it too much. Boy, the video is definitely breaking up. Being that is very annoying. Is there a way to fix that? Um, Ocean says, Kev, do you currently work any food delivery app companies, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, Amazon restaurants, Grubhub? Did you ever get reactivated with DoorDash? The DoorDash thing is interesting because I actually, at the moment, can't talk about DoorDash for because I am actually, well, let's put it this way. Person and they've got a third party person, and those third party people are talking to each other about things. So until those discussions are over, I can't talk about DoorDash. I mean, I could, but that would complicate discussions of the situation they are. So I'm not going to. Uh, that said, I do use Grubhub and Postmates, and I definitely take advantage of their bonuses, which can be very generous. And Roger says, anyone heard of Arcade City? Apparently in Austin, Texas. Yeah, I have. I had a referral link to them for a while, but I don't know if are they still around? Is Arcade City still around? I mean, I guess they are. You brought it up, so Lisa Noble asked legal proceedings. Uh, let's put it this way: the discussions are about whether or not they owe me some money. We'll just leave it at that. Lone Wolf says, no, James, because petitions don't do anything except letting people know how we feel. Yeah, that's pretty much the reason I don't sign petitions, or I've signed a few at it for kicks and giggles, but stock in a petition to work, that it's not going to happen. The only thing that will happen is if you call them, protest them, and stop driving, and maybe contact your local law to get take advantage of you. That's the only thing that. And here's the other thing about petitions, especially when it comes to petitions about Uber and DoorDash and Postmates. These companies are very aware their drivers are not happy. They are very aware. They just don't care. Um, yep. Roger says they have a website. Oh, so I guess they're still around. James Freeman says, "What is your comments about Uber Eats? Don't like them. They all you're doing is delivering fast food, and you're not getting tipped. That's all you're doing with Uber Eats, pretty much." And Ocean says, "Kev will make a DoorDash video when he's ready to talk about it." And yeah, I will. Actually, I've got the funny thing. I've actually been making like a couple dozen videos, and now you may or may not see those videos depending on how the discussions wind up. But let's just say I kind of gave, because I still have contact information for key people at DoorDash, sharing companies in the gig economy warrior things. I am most in contact with the DoorDash people. Preview of the videos, and let's just put this way: it got their attention in a way that I haven't gotten their attention in a while. So, oh, thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. Pete says I'm the first live chat I've ever joined a year driver Uber. That's awesome. I'm so sorry about the quality. Um, but on the positive news, I have bought a camera. It isn't here yet, but it's on its way. So hopefully, future live chats will be smoother because Google Hangouts is not great for live streaming. It just is not. It just is not. In fact, let's do this. Let's do this podcast style because the video is just so jerky right now. Video's so jerky that it's actually bothering me. So I know it's got to be bothering you. All right, there we go. We've got Appy now. Appy will be the face while we continue this video. The longer we decide to do this, and yeah. So wow, it's amazing. That cartoon is way more interesting looking than I am. And now I can take the Santa hat off because it doesn't really matter at the moment. James Freeman said they steal a lot of money when doing the DoorDash drive orders. I assume you're talking about them taking your tips. Here, and I can say this much: I have made videos about DoorDash stealing tips. In fact, one of the videos I made about that was one of the videos that got their attention. That one just happened to go live before any discussions, as they say, could go down. Oh, thanks, Pete. I appreciate that $3 for the camera. Yes. Yeah, because I want to get a camera and to do these live streams properly, because I'd also like to be showing the comments on the side because I can't read all of them, I'm sorry to say. And so some people don't get to read your comments, and I just that makes me feel bad. So um yeah. I stopped driving for Uber because was making $200 driving for. Imagine how much left I was taking home after gas money. Oh, got a email. Is that from the yeah, okay, whatever. Sorry, that I just got this really weird email. All right, let me do the math real quick. $200, and let's just say 30 cents for divided by 12. That's like $16 an hour. So actually you're doing better than most Uber drivers with that kind of money, to be perfectly honest. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still making less than what you would have been making like a year ago or two or yeah, a year ago. But the DR orders are the catering orders. They're stealing tips the same way they steal the new pay model. Yeah, you do need to subject gas money, but well, okay, at least my car gets like 360 miles per tank. And it costs about $30 to fill up my tank each time. And that's even with the gas, the tax hike for the gas because I have like a Costco membership. I know not everyone has Costco, but I do, and it's very useful for people with um there you go. So I'm curious, real quick, folks. Is this audio only thing working for you? Is the performance better? Because the biggest thing I was concerned about was the audio being disoriented. DK, what do you mean when you say flame responsibly? That's the $500 question. Fraud Boss says it costs $25 days. So $25 day for gas. So well, you are making more than minimum wage still, but yeah, that's still not ideal. I understand. Um okay, Ocean's not the audio. Perfect, awesome. So Andre says, how do you feel about YouTube as a job? I started my channel. I have only 2 videos. YouTube as a job. Okay, I guess we're not getting into we're getting off ride sharing for a little bit now, but I like the idea of YouTube as a job. I want YouTube to be my main job, to be honest. But YouTube is like so funny because I was watching Enter. I don't know if any of you have heard of him, but how his YouTube career kind of took an unexpected turn because tunes, but his main passion is video games. And that's kind of where I am right now. Because my passion is movies and games and comics and autographs actually. And I have video channels dedicated to discussing all of those. But my the one topic that I'm not as into on a fun level is gig economy, and those are the videos that took off, and this was the channel that took off, and this is my primary source of income channel. So it's funny how that works out really when you stop and think about it. Um so it's just really funny because I have a channel. I guess I can name. I guess write down these down, folks. I've got other channels, so you can write down these names. You can go subscribe to them if you want. Um, one of my channels I have is Aspie on YouTube, where I do vlogging, usually with me and Katie. Um, and Lone Wolf, be tactful like Striker X and get blocked anyway. Well, okay, Lone Wolf. Let's make this. For the record, I'm not going to block you, Lone Wolf. Let me make this absolutely clear. Striker X, every video he comments on, he's always talking about you talk too much. And you know what? Is that a valid criticism? Absolutely. But I have acknowledged that criticism in the past. And he just keeps bringing it up. So I don't have time to deal with it anymore. If he doesn't like it, too bad. He doesn't have to watch. It's that simple. That's why I blocked him. Because he brings it up every single time and it gets annoying. It just gets annoying. It's like, yes, I acknowledge it, but it's a problem. So that's what it is. So, and that's the last I'm going to say on that. For the record, if Striker X is still watching, and I doubt he is, with the exception of bringing that up every single time, I appreciate that he's a viewer. I like that he comments. When he's not commenting on that, he actually does contribute to the conversation. But yeah, that's a complaint. I've heard it, and I don't know what bringing it up over and over is going to do other than annoy me. And as I say, there's a straw that breaks the camel's back. So today, he that comment was the straw that broke my back, and I'm sorry that everyone saw it live. You know. So anyway, dating site for adults go to. Yeah, that's you see, I will block this person because this person's spam. So there, block. Well, all right. Yeah, well, you brought it up again, Lone Wolf, so I wanted to address it. So, but you're right. Let's move on. So, back to my other YouTube channels. YouTube channels. One is Ask Me on YouTube. That's a vlogging site. Mainly me and Katie vlog about things. Um, no problem. No problem, Lone Wolf. It happens. The Another channel that I have is called Autograph Hound, where that's one's the most recent one, and I've been making videos for that, and I think next year I'm going to start where I show off my autograph collection and how to get autographs and how to preserve them and stuff like that. The third channel, which I kind of consider my main channel because it's the oldest one, is just Kevin T. Rodriguez. And I've been uploading more videos on that one, and that's, news, entertainment, stuff like that, controversial opinions. And then you have the Entrepreneur. In fact, the only reason the Entrepreneur is its own channel is because on the main channel, I did 2 videos on DoorDash. And they got a lot of hits, like a lot of views. More of them because I had more things to say, but it was weird because it's like it didn't fit in with anything else on the channel. It just didn't. So I made a separate channel. And then the first video I made was on Uber Eats. Then I posted like a couple more Door Dashes and started talking about Uber and Lyft. And then before you know it, the Entrepreneur becomes this big thing, or at least big for me. I know that a little over 4,000 subscribers is not a lot for some people, but it's a lot for me. And when I see it growing by a dozen or two people each day, and actually have 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year, it's crazy to think about. It's just absolutely crazy to think about. But I would like a couple of the other channels to be pulling in the same kind of money that this channel does. 'Cause if they were, then I could officially do this full time. I am an entrepreneur, but I admit I've kind of been struggling with money sometimes. It's not always been easy. Um, but take care, press. I love you. What you do, keep up the good work. Awesome, thanks. Wanalo. What the heck is Wanalo? James Freeman told me about an app called Wanalo. Let me look this up real quick. Wanolo. Okay, what is this? This isn't. This is I am a job seeker looking for work. I'm a business. Holy cow! This is interesting. This is very well. Well, James Freeman. Thanks for pointing this. I think I'm gonna have to make a video discussing this after I look through it a little bit more. And go to my channel, Trust God TV. Check out my videos. I am going to copy that, and I will look it up a little later. Clarence Sharp of being lazy. Well, I think we all love being lazy. I really do. It's just most of us can't afford to be lazy, which is the big difference. So I'm just searching channel so that I can bookmark it to or, um let's all right. I found it. Um let's see. Apostle Pastor Teacher Gino Jennings, Faith Moves Gods, Machine debate with Pastor Gino. So do we have Pastor Gino in the live stream right now? Marketing says if Uber doesn't provide this cheap product, another company will. That is true to an extent, but here's the thing: even cheap products need to be profitable. Um, and let me explain that. McDonald's might be cheap; they might sell cheap burgers, but they still have to make money because McDonald's doesn't grow if they're. Hi, Jerry. We're just talking. We're talking about the profitability of Uber, I guess, at the moment. The thing is, like, yeah, if Uber doesn't offer cheap rides, someone else will. But the thing is, I think you can offer cheap rides and still be profitable, and that's what they need to figure out. To figure out how to, you know, you know, yeah, they need to figure out how to make the rides cheap and affordable for the consumer while being profitable for the company, and hopefully do it not at the driver's expense. Um, By the way, you're right in the point that DoorDash is screwing their drivers. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. At the moment, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am. Ocean says McDonald's is coming out with a new dollar menu revamp in January 2018. Think $1, $2, $3 new value menu. Well, yeah, and they got rid of the dollar menu because the dollar menu stopped being profitable. So, and now they're revamping it. They took away the cheap. They lost some business, and people wanted cheap options, so they figured out a new menu. And I guess we're gonna have to see what the new menu entails. I guess. Um, I wonder if nuggets will be on the value menu and whether or not you can get the Szechuan sauce. That's what I want to know because I want the Szechuan sauce. Um, let's see here. Clarence Chapping, as long as the demand is there, they will find a way to make money. Where there's a will, there's a way. There is where there's a will, there is a way. I agree. However, obviously, Uber's current model is not working, and that's what they seem to not be understanding. I think they got a little confident because for a little while their bookings were growing and their losses were shrinking. But in the last quarter, their bookings grew and then their losses grew again. So clearly something's got to give. Ocean says Taco Bell is coming out with 20 plus new dollar menu items. The battle for fast food dollar and value menu is heating up. Um, the oh yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is. But then, of course, the interesting thing, and I'm just gonna have to mention this, is that if you somewhere, but the most popular fast food chain in like I think 46 of the states is Chick-fil-A, and they have no value menu option whatsoever. You know, that's take from that what you will. I mean, I guess that shows that quality definitely persevere over value. So, oh, Katie texted me. Oh, it's like sorry, folks. Gotta respond to her. Let's see here. Oh, she's. Let's see here. Ocean, because a lot of them. LOL. Chicken sandwich. Yeah. I'm sure that the fact that a lot of Christians support them doesn't hurt. It's the popular notion that Christianity is dying. Christians still outnumber belief and non-belief system by 20 to 1, I believe. So that probably doesn't hurt. However, that said, it should also be noted that every time you to buy Chick-fil-A, and whenever like someone reviews Chick-fil-A food, like a professional food critic, like compares like the new McDonald's chicken sandwich to a Chick-fil-A, they always recommend the Chick-fil-A sandwich because it's just better sandwich. So, they make quality food and they have a lot of support. So that, yeah, it helps a lot. Pete Differ says, and they're closed on Sunday, still successful. Yeah. I personally wish more businesses were closed on Sunday because I think it's kind of cruel to have like both of the weekend days open and some of these retail and fast food workers have to basically work the whole weekend and not spend time with their family as a result. But I don't know. So is this where the live stream has gone? Are we like officially talking about no longer Uber or I guess DoorDash? People keep bringing up DoorDash, and yeah, I agree. DoorDash screws people. DoorDash financially is suffering more than the others because I can say this: they get sued a lot more than is reported on. So P. Differ says they have the balls to back up their values. Let's see. They do, and ironically, that's what worked out really well for them. That worked out extremely well for them. Chick-fil-A, and I don't want to get too political or religious on you guys, but I'm just going to state this. Well, I hadn't really heard about Chick-fil-A until a few years ago when Chick-fil-A announced that they were of heterosexual marriage being the definition of marriage. And I'm not going to get into whether or not they have the right to agree to do that or not, but that's what they did. Of celebrities came out and wanted to boycott Chick-fil-A, and they announced they were boycotting Chick-fil-A. And what's interesting is like that totally backfired. It totally backfired on them because this is how out of touch Hollywood is sometimes. I'm not saying you have to agree with what Christians believe, but these Hollywood actors thought that the vast majority of people agreed with them and would join a boycott. Well, actually agreed with Chick-fil-A and made them wildly successful, and now they're everywhere and you can't escape them, all because the boycott totally failed. I watched that situation closely because I thought it was fascinating at the time, and it was like I couldn't help but laugh, to be honest. And I also couldn't help but cry because it also showed how ineffective boycotts could be, really, when you get down to it. The only way a boycott truly works is if people don't use the product. That's why none of the Uber boycotts worked. That's why none of them worked. Stop driving, people were still using it, so it would surge, and yeah, it was always a little depressing. Um, needs police for traffic control. Chick-fil-A needs a police for traffic control at lunchtime. Well, I could say that Costco needs police for traffic control all the time, pretty much. Some businesses are just really successful, and you need them to, yeah. So let's see here. One second, folks. I got it. Did my computer just lock up? Oh no, there we go. There we go. I just need to subscribe to this real quick. Jerry Lick says, I had a DoorDash order, $70, waited for 20 minutes of a delay at a restaurant, drove 9 miles, spent an hour on this order, got a nice of $13. Friggin' DoorDash paid me a $1 delivery fee, which means that the tip was probably $18, and DoorDash just took James Friedman said, "Do you shop at Walmart?" The answer is no. I do not shop at Walmart. I have not shopped at Walmart for probably 8 years. I also don't shop at Amazon. I did break tradition during the summer. I bought Sonic Mania because they gave me a $50 gift card for free. But aside from that, I haven't shopped at Amazon for like 5 years. Just won't do it. So, so anyway, are we? I'm trying to think. Is there anywhere else to go with this today? Because the original, I mean, in a strange way, we kept coming back to the main topic when the main topic was people like Uber the product, but they hate Uber the company. And the audio is apparently breaking up. So, be a good time to end this. Nature says, I like Costco because they pay a livable wage. So that's the thing. Costco is not expensive. They really are not. I mean, you run, I mean, they're expensive in the sense that, yeah, obviously $8 for Kraft macaroni and cheese is a lot, but you also get like 3 weeks worth of it. So there you have it. So is the audio breaking up for anyone else? Because if it is, then I think we should probably wrap this up. Also, I already took away the video. Answer might, yeah, that's right. Okay, people are leaving, so I think that means the audio is breaking up. You can still hear me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending this time with me. I will try to live stream on Sunday. Also, I will be on Twitch tonight. At least I'm very positive I'll be on Twitch tonight. So you can around 9 o'clock. So okay, I'm gonna do this. So since the audio going to end this, thanks for watching and spending time with me. As always, flame responsibly. Uh, all right, guys. Thank you once again. Have a good day.